Let's do my makeup, but with glasses. If you're a glasses girly, am I the only one? But I just can't wear contacts to work because I just get really tired really quickly. So if I have an event with work or after work, before work, I do my glasses with makeup. And I feel like these glasses kind of feel like I'm not wearing glasses because it doesn't cover my face too much. But anyway, let's get into it. For sunscreen, I've already used this one because it goes really well with the Polka Beauty Glow Treatment. I kind of use this as a makeup primer. I love trying out new products, especially with sunscreen and primer. I just feel like sometimes they flake and I absolutely hate it. And whoever wears glasses, it is such a struggle to put makeup on. Most of the time my face is in the mirror. Now it's eyebrows. We are just concealing. Use your favorite concealer. My top favorite would be Huda Beauty, the Kosas concealer, and then I'm going to use a flat brush. So what I usually do is I just take the concealer and I literally just shape my brows. Then I'm going to take a really light brow pencil. This is basically, it's called Brow Lift Light Blonde from Charlotte Tilbury. That's how light you're going to go. Because for me, I don't like my eyebrows to be kind of like the star of the show. I like them to kind of just be there. That's literally how much I fill them in. Now it's time for concealers, and you're going to want to let this sit a little bit. So it's all about lifting. So I'm going to do the bottom half of my face first. So you're going to want to use kind of like a shade lighter than your foundation. And then you're just going to lift up the eyebrow area a little bit. And by the eye, let's not forget here. And then we're going to do below the eye, which I have. There we go. Then we're gonna go in with kind of like a bronzer. This is the Chanel one, and I'm just gonna use my finger. And I'm just gonna put on areas where I want it to be. So for me, when it comes to glasses, I feel like the most important thing is contouring. Especially my nose and my cheekbones. Forehead, I do it, but not like just the usual, but the contour is probably the most important part. So, and I am using the Mary Phillips method where I'm going to do this and then put foundation over it just to kind of look more natural. And then I use whatever's left over in the brush. And then let's not forget the eyes, just to contour the eyes a little bit. Before I blend this in, I'm gonna spray this with the Lisa Eldridge. This is kind of like a skin mist. I really love using this. Again, I'm gonna have to take off my glasses for this because we don't need to set my glasses. If you can't see like me. And the worst part about taking my glasses every 5 seconds is my baby hairs come out. So it's a whole other 5 minutes just getting those baby hairs back in the scarf. But anyway, I am going to be blending all the areas that are not under my eyes. And I usually use the bottom of the Beauty Blender. And I kind of just blend downward and tap. So don't swipe. And now we're going to blend the bronzer. I usually like using like a very soft, fluffy brush. So I think either like Real Techniques or Charlotte Tilbury, even Morphe and Sigma are also quite nice. This area, I tend to kind of dab in the area. I know it looks crazy, but trust the process. Nose and cheeks are the most important. And because we're using the Mary Phillips method, this won't look as bad as it does now. It's a real struggle to do makeup tutorials as a hijabi because we have to worry about so many things. Like my neck was showing in the last one, so I had to edit that out. But anyway, we're just blending the under eyes and we're trying to I go close to my nose to kind of cover up if I did contour, you know, to lower down, because your contour for your nose just to kind of like sit here. So that's why I want to make sure that didn't happen. So for foundation, we are using the Forever Skin Glow from Dior. Guys, this is one of my favorite foundations and it's literally almost done. I don't even know how many pumps I have left. I probably have like 1 or 2. Like I've literally been taking it out and like swiping out my face because I love it so much. I definitely want to replace this because whenever I wear this foundation, I get a compliment about my skin. And that's when you know you need to just rebuy that foundation. Also, the color is perfect for me because a lot of my other foundations are a little bit too dark because a lot of them I face matched online and it's not. So I'm gonna put this on my hand. So this is how much I'm putting. It's not a very like full coverage foundation. It's very much a light to medium. So if I'm putting one pump, it's a light to medium. If I'm putting more than one pump, then it's gonna be like medium coverage and a bit more. And then we're literally just going to take the brush and just dab gently over the full face. Don't go over your concealer because when there's too much product under your eyes, that's how you crease so much, right? Okay, so I know I kind of look a little bit pale, so now I'm just gonna take whatever is left over on this contour brush and I'm just gonna go over specific areas where I want it to be a little bit more pronounced with the contour. So not everywhere, just kind of like literally right here where you see the dip, a little bit above the dip. For blush, we're using the Westman Atelier, and this is Bichette. It's such a gorgeous peachy color. And again, we want to go for like a lifted look. So I'm going upwards there. And we're just going to take a fluffy brush and dab it in there. Focus on going upwards and not too much into the cheek area. Like that. And you can always go over with the foundation brush if you feel like it's too much blush, just to make it a bit more less blushy. I love the Westman Atelier sticks. They are so gorgeous. And then I kind of use whatever's left over on the bridge of my nose. And you can put a little bit on your chin. So for our powder, we're going to be using this Pillow Talk Flawless Pink. It's a face palette, so it has a setting powder and it has a blush. So I love this, great for traveling. I've been using it so much and I absolutely love this powder. It is perfect. So what I do is I keep the powder ready on my powder puff and then I take a beauty blender, blend my eye first, and then straight away put the powder puff. Make sure before you put the powder that there is no creases. So look up, make sure there's no creasing, because if you put powder into creases, you're gonna create a crease. Okay, so first blend the eyes, so look up, take your beauty blender and just kind of make sure there's no creases, and then you're gonna take your powder puff and look up and dab into it. And you just really wanna dab till all the powder has set in. I don't really bake, I don't like baking because I'm more of a glowy girl. Yeah, so that's literally just what you do. And look at that, perfect. What I also love to do is I take the powder and kind of go as close to my nose as possible just to start doing the contour, like kind of the highlighting, and then I'm going to contour with a brow pencil. And take the same powder from the Charlotte Tilbury and I'll apply it in areas where I kind of don't want to shine. I will shine eventually, but basically this area I don't want to shine. I want my shine to be here with my highlighter and just a little bit of my forehead. And right there, and then a little bit on my eyes because I'm going to do my eyes now. Before I start with my eyes, I always curl my lashes, and the best lash curlers are probably like Tweezerman and Shiseido. I need to get the Shiseido one because I want to try the difference. If you are curling your lashes and it's pinching, like you're getting a pinchy feeling, then girl, you got the wrong eyelash curler. I used to use cheap eyelash curlers for so long, and I didn't realize that was what the problem was. I will have to come back because I just saw my garbage fly everywhere, so. So for eyes, we're gonna start off with this Kiko Milano eyeliner, and then after we do the eyeliner, again, only the outer third of the eye, we're gonna use these two shades right here to kind of go over the liner and make it look a bit more kind of smoky vibes. Doing my eyeliner without glasses is not for the weak. Like, I feel like I can't see anything. My eyeliner is not perfect, but that is okay because we are going over with an eyeshadow, and also the glasses are going to be covering it. So I definitely need to get a new eyeliner because I think this one is already dry. But oh my god, what am I holding? I was just about to put blush on my eye. We're just putting kind of like a little bit of the light, a little bit of a light, and a very kind of like a flat brush because we're gonna go over our eyeliner. So we're gonna go over the eyeliner here and just go a little bit into the middle. And whatever is left over on the brush, we're kind of gonna go in the crease of the eye. And we're gonna fluff that out later, so don't worry. And because it's a natural look, I'm just gonna take my finger and kind of blend that out there at the top, just so it doesn't look too harsh. Now it's time for mascara. Tubing mascara has been my absolute favorite. It's just so easy to come off, and it all comes off one time when you take it off with like water or whatever. So that's what I love about it. So I use the Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerate. If you have another favorite tubing mascara, let me know, because this is the only one that I have, only tubing one that I have, and I love it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do one coat up, and then we're gonna do one coat that way on the top of the lashes, and then again one coat. One coat up, one coat down, and then another one up. And don't forget your lower lashes. I only do one coat on the lower lashes. Now that's what you call a great mascara. Okay, eyes are done, and now I can actually see stuff. So I can do my lips and nose properly without struggling so much. You guys know most of the time my face is right in the camera. So we're gonna start off with my nose. I am using kind of like my brown, any brown, kind of like light brown pencil that you use to line your lips. I use it on my nose too, just because it's just so handy to use one thing. Or you could use your brow pencil. I actually use my brow pencil for my brows, my nose, and my lips. It's just because I love using one product for everything, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do kind of like a rectangle on my nose. So that's how the rectangle looks there. And then we're just gonna go up there. So for the lips, I do the oval method. So you kind of draw like an oval on your lips like this. I'm just gonna define it a little bit more. I just find because I have small lips, sometimes when I overline, especially with glasses, it kind of looks too much. And with glasses, I want everything to look uniform and not too much. Okay, now that I've overlined, now we're gonna go as close to your lip as possible. So don't overline on the outer corners. It just makes your lips more feminine and less kind of like you faked like lip plumping, if you know what I mean. So like literally like that. It just keeps kind of the lip looking not too much and not overdone. So can you see here, we did no overlining here. We only did the overline on the oval. I always conceal the middle of my lips, and then I use the Pinky Plush setting powder. And if I feel like I put too much concealer, I just take the liner and kind of go over it. But instead of using a brown liner, I use like a pink one. So I am basically using the pink side of it because I did overdo it with the concealer. So I just go over the brown part just so that the brightening is in the middle of the lip and not the full lip. You're gonna take your setting powder and you're gonna take the pink part with your finger and you're gonna dab it in the middle just to kind of set it. This kind of keeps your lips good the whole day, like it doesn't move. And then I'm taking the pink part, blush part, and just going at the tip there. And I don't go all the way down, I just kind of stick to the middle of my lips. Guys, I'm literally just checking if my garbage is flying. Just so I don't look crazy, I'm gonna use kind of like a flat brush there and just contour and blend the nose. And you don't want to go too much out of the lines. Kind of when you're blending the contour for the nose, you don't want to go down, you kind of want to go up, because if you go down, it kind of does make your nose look bigger. A good way, if you do have a bump on your nose, is to shadow the specific where the bump is, shadow on top of it, and don't apply highlighter on it, because then it will define your bump when you're obviously looking straight ahead, because on the side, obviously the bump will be there. I'm talking about like if you're looking from the front. You won't see the bump as much if you shadow it specifically right there. And then I just go over with the powder puff just to make sure there's no defined lines, or even with the foundation brush, you know, just so it looks a little bit more natural and not. So I'm not really adding product on the powder puff. I'm literally just using whatever is left over on it. For highlighter, I can't talk about the Dior Backstage enough. It's just so smooth on textured skin. So I'm going to be using my finger, and I'm going to be going over the pink and kind of like the white part. And I'm just going to put it right there where I want to highlight. If I use a brush, I sometimes do apply too much. And because I have textured skin, you don't want to apply highlighter on areas where you have so much textured skin, because then it shows it even more. See, you just want it perfect. Like, look at that glow. It's just perfect. You can also add some highlighter over here and over here. Not where the bump is, just below the bump. I'm busy hunting for the lip gloss. I used it yesterday, so it must be in my bag. I found the gorgeous gloss. I love a kind of like a Barbie pink gloss. So this is called Revealed, and it's the Kosas Wet Lip Oil. I absolutely love this. Always get compliments in it. Like, look at that. It is so gorgeous. And guys, don't worry, I didn't forget to curl my lashes. I'm just waiting for it to be a bit more dry. And guys, this lip thing stays the whole day. Because I do the concealer and setting powder part, I feel like that's what you need to do if you want it to kind of last. A little pro tip here is to put setting powder on your thing where it sits on the nose, just so that it doesn't take off too much makeup. Okay, so, okay, it looks dry, so we're just gonna curl the lashes. One more time. Can you guys see the difference between this eye and this eye? It makes a difference. It looks like I went for a lash lift. And that is my makeup look for glasses. Let me know what you guys think, and if you have any questions, just let me know. But guys, this is actually my makeup look even without glasses. And I don't always put kind of like a beige liner in the inside of my eye, because I don't know, with glasses, I don't really like how it looks, but I love it when I'm not wearing glasses. But yeah, bye guys.